Good morning, Raider fans. I'm Brett Mayerson.
And I'm Sam Mahler.
And I'm Kedar Carrington.
And we are here to bring you the latest on our local professional sports and our high school sports here at Scotch-Wade's Fairwood High School. We are going to do our 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 topics once again this week. First, number 5, let's talk about all basketball, starting with the NBA. Nets and the Knicks both having very disappointing.
NHL.
My bad. NHL. We'll talk about the Rangers and Islanders and the Devils. Devils having a disappointing season. Rangers having a solid year, and the Islanders are probably the biggest surprise of the NHL, being first in the Eastern Conference right now.
Yeah, coming off the All-Star break, big matchup between the Islanders and the Rangers. Islanders, best team in the East. Rangers, one of the hottest teams in the NHL. Unfortunately, as a Ranger fan, they were unable to beat the Islanders. I think that one reason that the Rangers have been struggling against the Islanders is Halak in goal for the Islanders. He's just been a brick wall. He's playing better than Henrik Lundqvist, which you can't say for most goalkeepers. And I think that John Tavares had an amazing game in the All-Star game, continued that after the All-Star break against the Rangers. Okposo for the Islanders is playing phenomenal. I just think that it's not a fluke, and as many of us thought it would be. They just continue to prove that they're one of the best teams in the East, and it's an Islanders team that we haven't seen for quite a long time.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Usually it's the other way around with the Rangers and the Devils, but the Islanders have really been killing it this year. Maybe a Stanley Cup might be in their sights. I don't know.
Sometime in the near future. I predicted with some of my friends that they're going to win the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, it certainly seems like they might
seems like
right now.
It does.
Unless they could be one of those teams that looks amazing in the regular season and then just tanks in the playoffs.
Yeah,
let's hope that doesn't happen because New York
true.
needs another championship.
Yeah, the Islanders, they haven't had a lot of postseason success in recent years, so it'll be interesting to see how they fare if they're able to hold their regular season advantage over these other teams. I'm not sure if they have. I know they have what it takes physically and talent-wise. It'll be interesting to see if they have the mental strength, because that's a big part of making it in the playoffs. You can't just rely purely on talent. You have to be mentally strong to be able to get through all those games and make it to the Stanley Cup Finals.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like hopefully they haven't worn off, with so many wins this season and then they just tank in the playoffs. I mean, I don't see it happening, but, a lot of teams have done it in the past, whether it be the NHL, the MLB, NFL. Like, it happens a lot, so but I wouldn't want to see a hometown team go down like that.
Yeah, exactly. And the Devils having probably one of the worst seasons in franchise history right now, and their former goaltender, Martin Brodeur, just announced his retirement from the St. Louis Blues. He will also now join their front office as an assistant to the general manager. Mm-hmm. And, of course, that impacts a lot of Devils fans around here as he won 3 Stanley Cups with the Devils, has the most wins in net for the Devils, and actually has the most wins of all time by any goaltender.
Yeah, Brodeur was a huge part of the Devils' success over the past 15 or so years. Very sad for them, even though he's not on the team the last year or so. He was still a valuable member of what they were able to accomplish. So it's very sad to see that not only is he retiring from the game that he's been a part of for so long, but that he won't even be joining the front office of the team that he spent almost his entire career with. But I think that's all in the past. I think they need to focus on the team that they currently have, and the team that they currently have is a not very good one. And I think that this season might be lost because I think that the games behind that they are of a playoff spot is too much to overcome. So I think they really need to work on making big moves in the offseason, making very solid draft picks, and then hoping that those pay off in the next few years.
Yeah, the Devils just really need to look towards the future. Martin Brodeur, he was a legend, and you're going to have to just move on past it. And the Devils just need to get more wins. That's the bottom line. And the season's over for them, but in reality, you don't want to tank. I mean, these fans are coming out still supporting your team, so you might as well give it all you got.
Yeah, it's really a shame, though, because, the Devils, they used to almost sell out most of their games, and now you watch their games on TV or you go, as I'll be going to one this weekend, their stadium really, it's not that full.
Yeah,
it's pretty empty now.
It's like watching a Florida Panthers game. There's only about 15
Don't make fun of my Panthers.
Stands.
That's why I'm going to watch them this weekend.
Yeah, that should be a real sellout crowd.
Yeah, exactly.
Two of the worst teams in the NHL. I'm sure that'll get very popular.
Yeah, it's always fun to watch hockey, but just the Devils, it's just really disappointing to just lose all your fans like that.
Yeah, it is really sad. But I think they'll have future success because I think they're too good of an organization to let this year be indicative of how they've been.
Yeah. All right. So now moving on from the NHL as our time has expired, let's go to the NBA and the NCAA men's basketball. First, let's talk about the NBA. Nets and the Knicks. I don't know what to say right now.
Just
I don't know what to say.
pathetic. But the Knicks finally won a couple games. They put up a 3-game win streak.
Yeah, that was pretty
very,
nice.
very solid. They beat the Oklahoma City Thunder last night.
Very true. But did the Thunder have Kevin Durant?
No, but
Exactly.
I mean, when you look at the Knicks and the Thunder, even without Durant, still a much better team. So something to hang their hats on, the Knicks. As for the Nets, they've been putrid as well.
Still the 8th playoff seed,
Yeah,
sadly.
I mean, that says something about the bottom half of the Eastern Conference. The Nets are still in the playoffs, but
That's how it works.
I think that I don't know if they'll be able to hold that lead, especially since they haven't really been able to string any wins together in the last couple of weeks. So I think that even though if the season were to end today, they'd be in the playoffs. I can't see them making the playoffs when the season's all over.
Yeah, the Nets and the Knicks, they've just been a disappointment. There's really no other thing to say about it. It's just we watch as fans, and there's so many fans around New Jersey and New York rooting for these teams, and they've just performed really, really bad. It's like really disappointing. And honestly, once the All-Star game comes up, you can really take the whole Western Conference, just take a whole bunch of players, and have like All-Star team with just them players, because
Exactly.
the Eastern Conference has just been so weak as a whole in general. So
Yeah.
And you hear all these trade talks about the Nets. I mean, for some of these trades, like, you're thinking, what good could this do?
Exactly.
Like, they're like, oh, we can probably get Kendrick Perkins. Why would you want Kendrick Perkins? All he can do is play defense. He can't score. And then they're trying to get rid of Brook Lopez in those trades. They also got an offer for Brook Lopez for Lance Stevenson, which was a rumored offer. Still, Lance Stevenson's good, but he hasn't been the same ever since he left the Pacers.
And he's no Brook Lopez. I think they wouldn't be gaining anything, even though it'd be helpful to load them off the team because they're not providing any help. But I think if they want to, these people on the Nets, they have talent. They're just not able to use that talent to translate into wins. So I think that if you are going to trade these players like Lopez, you got to be getting something decent in return, because I think individually you look at these players, they have a lot of talent, but when you put them on this team, they just fall apart.
Yeah.
they just been they haven't been able to gel together. That's
Right.
probably the main problem.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I mean, the last trade rumor that we heard was the Nets talking to the Nuggets about trading Lopez to the Nuggets for the expiring contract of JaVale McGee and a first-round draft pick. That seems like the only beneficial trade, because you would get a first-round draft pick out of it, which they don't have right now till 2018. So I mean, think about that. They really need an early round draft pick if they really want to have some future
Yeah,
success.
they really got to start building for the future. Let's move on to college basketball. We got Seton Hall, still ranked in the top 25. They finally ended the brief losing streak that they went on. They beat Marquette.
80-70. Sterling Gibbs with 26 points.
Yeah,
Which is huge.
He's proving to be one of the top players in all of college basketball. Very proud to see his Scotch Plains representatives. He's from Scotch Plains. Another big Scotch Plains representative, Lance Thomas, had a huge game for the Knicks the other night. That was great to see.
That's always awesome.
Yeah, and I think that even though Seton Hall lost a couple games in the last week or so, I think that their big wins against Villanova and St. John's, I think that'll help them get a decent seed if they can continue winning as they have been in the NCAA tournament. And if they have a good showing in the Big East tournament, I think that'll be key for their seeding in the NCAA tournament. But I think that ending the losing streak that they were on was huge for them, because that's just a huge momentum killer.
Yeah, the Big East tournament is always really fun to watch, especially it takes place at Madison Square Garden every year. So
Yeah, best arena in all of America.
True. So I mean, who wouldn't want to watch them? And Seton Hall, they've been really on fire this year, and I don't know, maybe they're looking at a deep tournament run, perhaps.
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, they're not ranked anymore. I mean, they're right on that edge of
Yeah.
teams that are
Yeah,
about to
just-
be ranked.
Yeah, just out.
Yeah, they're just out. So if they win a few more games like they did earlier in the season, they'll pop right back into the rankings. And they still don't have Isaiah Whitehead, as he's been out with his fracture in his foot, but he's supposed to come back sometime within the next 2 to 3 weeks. So imagine once he gets back, they're going to be even better,
Yeah,
because he's one of their top scorers.
Yeah, he'll be back just in time for the Big East tournament. So I think with him back and Sterling Gibbs, the two of them, they should be able to propel that team deep into the Big East tournament. Possibly looking at another matchup against Villanova in the finals. That would be insane considering what they were able to do against Villanova a few weeks ago. So that rematch at Madison Square Garden, that'd be an insane atmosphere, and that'd be
I
a
would
great
go to
game
that.
watch.
I'm a huge Seton Hall fan.
I'm
I would
saving
definitely
my
go to
money
that.
up now to go.
Another local team we have not mentioned much on the show, the Princeton Tigers. They will be playing against Harvard this Friday at 6 p.m. Their big rivalry game. Harvard, always the most dominant Ivy League team. Princeton is also the top competitor with Harvard. Let's talk about this. I know you guys probably don't know much about this basketball, but Princeton star Spencer Weiss, who was a big international basketball player in the Maccabi games in Israel a couple years ago. Let's talk about him.
Yeah, I mean, as you know, Harvard, they've made deep tournament runs the last couple of years. They actually started off the year ranked in the top 25. So if Princeton's able to knock them off, that'd be huge for them because Harvard's dominated the Ivy League in recent years. So I think if they're able to beat Harvard, it could be a flip of the page in the Ivy League. Maybe Princeton's the new team to watch. So I think it'll be interesting to see how Harvard's able to defend Weiss. If he goes off, I think that Princeton has a pretty good shot of beating Harvard. But only time will tell.
Yeah, these are two premier Ivy League teams, and I'd like to see this matchup a lot. And who knows? I mean, Spencer Weiss has been playing really well this year, and Princeton's has, they've really come back. Like
they have.
They weren't so.
They're a game below 500 now.
Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah.
Harvard, obviously, they've been good the last couple years, so it's going to be interesting to watch.
Yeah. I mean, Princeton, no one really watches that much Ivy League basketball, but, you watch these guys. First of all, Ivy League basketball, you can't just look at it as Ivy League basketball like how people look at Ivy League football.
Yeah.
It's D1 basketball. And they play against some top programs. Like Princeton's played against Syracuse. They've played against Villanova at one point. They played against Rutgers one time this year. And, it's fun basketball to watch. If you would like to watch this game, I strongly recommend you do 6 p.m. tomorrow night, ESPNU, the one Ivy League game for basketball that's shown on ESPN besides an NCAA tournament game. All right, so now we'll move on to our next topic, high school sports, which we will start. No, NFL, sorry. NFL. God, I'm totally messed up today. NFL Super Bowl predictions. Seahawks in their second straight Super Bowl. Patriots in their first Super Bowl since they lost to the Giants in 2012.
Yeah, the big stories surrounding this game are, of course, Deflategate. It's been all over the news ever since the AFC Championship game. It'll be interesting to see how Brady, Belichick, and the rest of that team are able to put that drama behind them and focus on the game at hand. I think it'll come down to rushing. I think it'll be interesting to see if the Patriots are able to pound the ball with Blunt and Gray, and if they're able to stop beast mode Marshawn Lynch, which I don't know if anyone can, to be honest.
Exactly.
And
even the Packers couldn't stop him.
It's been a while since Brady last returned to the Super Bowl, but it is his and Belichick's sixth Super Bowl, so they have plenty of experience in this big game, the biggest game in all of football. But I don't know. Wilson and Carroll, they're repeat champions. I got to go with the Patriots just because they've been here so many times, and I think that to put the Deflategate drama behind them, they're going to want to win this game so badly that they're going to just stomp all over the Seahawks. Yeah. And as a Niner fan, I would love to see that.
Well, I'm definitely going with the Patriots.
Wow.
Tom Brady must be very, very happy that there's no Eli Manning in this Super Bowl.
Yes.
Exactly.
Honestly, I don't know what else to say. I'm pretty sure the Patriots, they're just going to wrap this up real quick, and they're coming out to win. I don't see. Marshawn Lynch, Patriots.
All right.
Now, wow, you guys are both going against what I was told you were going to say. I'm going with Seattle.
Oh.
And the only reason why, it's not because I hate the Patriots, which I do. The only reason why I'm going with Seattle is because, first of all, they won it last year. You win the Super Bowl last year, dominating probably a team in the NFL that's almost better than you, which at that time was the Denver Broncos, 43-8. Now you're coming here. You're back in the Super Bowl after having a rough start to your season. They are now red hot heading into these playoffs and the Super Bowl with a great coach in Pete Carroll, a great athletic quarterback in Russell Wilson who can do anything you ask him to. He can run. He could throw. Hey, if you even want to run a wildcat, he can probably run out and play wide receiver if you wanted him to. And Marshawn Lynch in the backfield and Jermaine Kearse and Doug Baldwin, who are red hot in the playoffs as wide receivers. I think the Seahawks are just going to take this back. I think it's going to repeat.
I think the key to the game is going to be Rob Gronkowski. He's the best weapon that the Patriots have, and the Seahawks have actually allowed, I believe it's 10 receiving touchdowns to tight ends this year.
Not terrible, but...
Yeah, they allowed 10 combined the previous 2 years. So I think that if Brady and Gronk can connect over the middle of the field, that's where Brady's most dominant, targeting Gronkowski over the middle. And I think that he'll be able to eat up those linebackers in coverage because that's not really what their specialty is. And I think that he is going to be just insane. And I think that you want to stay away from Richard Sherman because he's going to swallow up those outside receivers. So I think that you stick with who's been there by your side for all your success, and that's Rob Gronkowski.
I don't even see it being a close game. I think the Patriots take this all the way. I think the Seahawks are going to have a very mediocre performance in this game.
Wow.
Prediction.
Yeah.
Bold
To quote Kedar Carrington, mediocre.
Mediocre.
Wow. All right, let's see what the result is this Sunday. All right, now moving on to high school sports. Now let's talk about this. Our boys basketball, not the greatest record, still with only 3 wins on the year. They have a game tonight at 7 against Union here at Scotts Plains High School. Union has already beaten them by 30, but you look at what happened with the Westfield game. We lost to Westfield by 12. And the first game of the year, which was at Westfield, they lost to Westfield by 30.
Yeah.
So do you think they can do the same thing with Union and actually compete with Union in this game?
I'm not sure. I think that they aren't going to lose by 30 again. I think that the problem and the difference between Union and Westfield is that Union has a huge size advantage over our team, and as I've been saying the whole season, that's our one flaw. That's the one thing we're missing is that big presence on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that if we can post up in the paint, I think that will give us a good chance. And I think that if Leo's able to drive inside and then dish out for 3-pointers, I think that'll be good because he's going to be drawing a lot of attention. Union knows as well as everyone knows that
He's the leading scorer in the
Exactly.
state now.
yeah, he's one of the best players in the state. So they're going to be putting a lot of eyes on him. And I think if he's able to draw that attention and then give it to one of the other guys that Union's not guarding, and they make some big shots, I think that we might be able to pull off the upset.
Yeah, but it's a blessing and a curse also because we have Leo Ramos, who's one of the best players in the state. But if he's being shut down, then he's going to have to give it up, give the ball up. And the other players are going to have to step up. And I don't know if we've really seen that much this year. We've really seen just a one-man show with Leo, just, getting buckets as usual. So the Raiders are just really going to have to come out and compete really hard. Like you said, they did lose by 30 against Westfield, but they were able to compete with them the next game. And maybe, I don't know, I think the Raiders have really been, maybe gelling this year, perhaps, really getting...
It's a rebuilding year.
Yeah, but they seem like they're coming together as a team, so maybe they won't lose by 30, but I don't know if they'll be able to get the win in this one.
Yeah, I might have to agree with you. The thing with Westfield, Westfield does not have that big of size advantage either. They're pretty even with us. They just have fantastic basketball players.
Yeah.
Their starting point guard's a sophomore.
Mhm.
That's pretty dang good. But, I think that we could probably compete with Union tonight. I don't know about the win. I hope we win. But, again, like Sam said earlier in the year, we still have a decent chance to actually go far in the sectional tournament because of the weakness of our section.
True. So I think that's what we got to be looking forward to. I think even if we don't put up that good of a regular season schedule, the regular season doesn't matter that much as long as since we pretty much have an automatic bid in the state tournament, that's what we got to focus on. And I think if we can make a deep run in that, that's what you want to base our team off of, not what they were able to do in the regular season.
Exactly.
We just got to keep working hard. It's like, how the Atlanta Hawks, they've been winning so many games this year because of teamwork. And that's exactly
17 straight.
Yeah, just pass the ball around. Just make sure everyone gets open looks, and then hopefully that's how you start winning games. Get your teammates involved, start playing better defense, and that's when you start coming up with more wins. So,
Welcome back to Rare Sports Radio. I'm Brett Mayerson.
And I'm Sam Aller.
And we are here with our star from the girls varsity swimming team, Kate Musso. How are you doing today, Kate?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Good. So me and Sam have a few questions for you. First of all, you guys won counties this weekend. Congratulations.
Thank you.
How'd that meet go overall?
It was awesome. It was our first time winning counties in a very, very long time, and we beat our rival, Westfield, which was awesome.
Nothing better than that.
Exactly. It was a lot of fun. We have a crazy awesome team this year, so it was just a lot of energy, and it was a really good time.
Awesome.
Who are some of the swimmers that really performed great at counties that helped you guys win the tournament?
We have a lot of really strong swimmers. Sarah Davis, she's a junior. She individually won 2 events, that's a pretty big deal.
Mm-hmm.
We have Stephanie Judge, she's awesome. She got top 8 in her events.
Wow.
The Mazes twins, they are freshmen. They did awesome in their individual events. They were part of a record-breaking relay, which was really good. We have a lot of standout swimmers, but
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. Sounds like you guys have a lot of young talent, that sounds pretty
Yeah.
good for future years, right?
It's awesome. I think next year we're going to be just as strong, if not stronger.
Wow.
Yeah, we have a lot of good swimming years to come
Sweet.
in SPF.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, so we know that your season's been kind of shortened with injury. Are you getting back in the pool anytime soon?
No, my doctor actually recommended that I retire my swimming career.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it stinks, but I still try to be a part of the team, even though I can't be in the pool. Hopefully, I could maybe get surgery and be able to swim my senior year.
That'd be good.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, I know.
Always cheer your team on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know being a part of the crowd is a big deal. I know you girls focus a lot on cheering each other outside of
Yeah.
the pool. So how important is it to be positive even when you're not swimming?
It's so important. I think I try to be, really active in the team, even if I'm not in the pool. Our team is awesome about spirit, and we're all really close. It's definitely a family this year. This is the best year out of my 3 years. It's the best experience. We're really supportive of each other, and I think that's our connection as a team is definitely a part of why we're succeeding so much this year.
Awesome.
Awesome. And one last question: can you please sign the wall back there?
Yes. I'd be honored. Where should I sign?
Anywhere you want.
I feel like a celebrity.
All right, that wraps up our interview with swimmer Kate Musso. I'm Brett Mayerson,
And I'm Sam Muller.
and we'll see you next week. Go Raiders!
Thank you very much.
Bye.
And just a quick update: hockey lost a game yesterday to Westfield 4-1. They're having a solid season, and congratulations to our girls varsity swimming team, Union County champions for the first time in a few years. We will talk about that a little bit further with an interview after the show with star swimmer Kate Musso. And just a quick update: hockey lost a game yesterday to Westfield 4-1. They're having a solid season, and congratulations to our girls varsity swimming team, Union County champions for the first time in a few years. We will talk about that a little bit further with an interview after the show with star swimmer Kate Musso. But until then, I'm Brett Mayerson.
I'm Sam Muller.
I'm Kedar Carrington.
We will see you in a few minutes.
Peace.